Good afternoon, everybody. I have one question to start with. Does anyone have problems in their life?
I do.
Everyone.
I don't see hands.
Yeah, tons of them. Okay, why do we have problems in our lives? We have to have problems in our lives. It's because that is one motivation point that will move us forward. And this is what we are going to hear for the next 5 minutes. And to start with, people say, okay, a lot of things about problems. I'm not going to deal about all the problems. I'm going to talk about only one, the problem of plenty. How do we handle the problem of plenty? We are all from the Indian subcontinent. How many of you have faced the problem of plenty? Hands. I've seen it. I've been a victim of problem of plenty, and I have outshone others because of the problem of plenty.
What is the problem of plenty?
Pardon me?
What is the problem of plenty?
Problem of plenty, good question. It is for an opportunity, we have multiple people, and for a single person, we have multiple opportunities. Okay? If you have seen the movie Matrix, you would have known by now. Seen Matrix? The problem is choice. So, Indian cricket team, for example, where were we? For 10 years, we had an unchanged batting lineup. We are struggling now. It's because of the problem of plenty. It's not because those 6-7 batsmen outshone everyone. It's because the others didn't get an opportunity to fill in their spaces. So that's, okay, what do we do with it? How do we deal with it? Is there an option? Yes? Okay. Some of my thoughts. We go to lots of job interviews. Okay? Let's say multinational companies hiring. Okay? It could be for 100 spots, but they will get 1 lakh applications. So, which means that they are going to deny all those apart from those 100 spots. They cannot make 100,000 opportunities for everyone. So, the motivation is the key. Okay? You have to keep people motivated. Okay? You are important. Okay? And everyone has to feel that they are important. That is one big way to move forward from any problem. So, the problem of plenty, just step aside and say, okay, I now have a problem of plenty. I have too many choices. What should I choose? Just clear your mind. Okay? There are two ways people talk about it, okay, on either end of the spectrum. They say too much of anything is good for nothing. The second one say more the merrier. Come on, we'll take you in as you come. That cannot be the case every single time. You have to choose, you have to adapt. And that comes with a lot more clarity. You have to be really clear about what you really need. And it's important, that the clarity is important, it's because it will drive all your actions. When you act accordingly, I mean, you just can't go by your gut feel every single time. Your gut can save you sometimes, it can push you to the corner sometimes. But you should have the confidence, you should have the courage to come up, to step up. And just come here stepping up, okay, it's easy to say than to do. Yes, it is easy to say than to do. But what if you can do? Have you tried doing it? No one can say, okay, this is how you have to do. Okay, no one can draw a line and ask you to walk there. If you walk that line, you are walking on someone else's line. So you have to draw your line. That is all the more important. And when you are confident of drawing the line, you will be able to see past the problems. Okay, anything that comes, any problem that you face in the line, you see, okay, this is something that I've drawn. Okay, which means that I will know what to do about it, a roadblock that is in the line, and to do that. And you will get that confidence. And I would like to quote Swami Vivekananda. He said, arise awake and stop not till your goal is reached. You should know what your goal is. That is when you will be able to draw your line and walk your line. And one last thought about it is you have to be really good at maintaining a self-discipline on achieving your goal. So achieving the goal is the most important thing, but the way you achieve your goal, I would like to quote Rudyard Kipling for this. If you have heard the poem, If, it's just If, the poem's name is. And he would have concluded the poem that if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 minutes worth of distant run, everything that's in the world that's in it, and more than that, you'll be a man my son. So it's just that confidence and the clarity will give you the difference between being a boy and a man. And you'll be able to see past the problems and address your problems. Thank you for hearing me out. Thanks.
Wait, stay there. Ask for questions.
Any questions? I'll throw it out to you.
Somebody
It's-
ask a question?
I know it's a
Do you
general
face
topic.
any problem in your life, like which problem?
Yes. While I was in my college, it could be a funny story. There was one good-looking girl, and we were around 10 people going after her. So that was a problem of plenty.
For her.
No, my problem was that there were a lot of people going for the single opportunity.
Competition.
Yeah, heavy competition. So I was on the
You had
receiving
only
end.
one choice. You had only one choice, that girl. You didn't have much.
No, the problem for me with the plenty was there were plenty of other people vying for the same spot. So that is the problem of plenty. When I was in my campus interview, that was a problem of plenty. It's because around 1,000 people were going in, and that was a period of recession. I did not know if I come out, I'm gone. I'll be 1 in a million rather than 1 in 1,000. So I had to make a choice to outtrain others. So that's when I drew my line, and I drew the line for my job rather than for going after the girl. So that's a choice that I make. So you have to be clear in what choice you make so that you have your end goal, you reach your end goal. So that's a story from my life. Anything else you want to hear?
Leave us with a memorable statement.
I quoted Rudyard Kipling. That's my memorable statement. I so like the poem if it's because I have it pasted in my cube. It's because I want to make sure that I utilize every second of my minute. If I'm able to fill it with my conscience, I'll be able to reach my goal. That it gives me the confidence that I'll be able to do it. So that's what I do, that's what I practice, and that's what I will preach.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, stay right there. Feedback.
People are writing a lot of things.
They're copying. Who has the first bit of feedback to share with
Oh,
another?
please be free to. I mean, it is a learning experience for me, so I would really love some feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he's having good vocal, very confident,
Mm-hmm.
and again, a little bit fast, and little bit tough words they are using,
Strong on words.
new words.
Else?
This is mine. 899 out of 10.
Oh, thank you. That's easy.
Scoring. All right. What other feedback? What did you notice that he did really well?
The vocals.
He's very confident.
Confident.
Mm-hmm. You appeared very confident. Was it around movement?
Covering the stage. very
Yeah.
well.
You owned the stage. What else?
Making eye contact.
Good eye contact. I noticed that as well. Mm-hmm.
Good body language, the way he answers and call.
Yeah. The gestures were great. The body language appeared very confident. Mm-hmm.
One thing what I thought is like he lacked on the part of knowing your audience.
Okay.
That's why the first question came into my mind. I didn't know what is proper problem is.
Yeah.
So you should have defined it first. Like, okay, this is problem plenty, and I wanted to talk about this one.
I think that that's a good point. In terms of your introduction, love the grabber because you asked us a question. We were immediately all engaged. It can be a very simple question, and it immediately gets us all engaged. So I thought that that was great. And you gave us a quick preview of, well, that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I agree. I think because I'd never heard of the problem of plenty. And I think that if you had defined it just a little bit, that's kind of like your, when we talk about what's in it for them. If you
Creating the basement.
Pardon?
Creating the basement.
Yeah. So you're kind of letting us know, here's what it is, and here's what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I would add to that introduction is why you? Why is it you talking to us about this?
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of credibility. So but this is something that you've examined over the course of however many
Edify
years.
myself before I go.
Yeah. I think that would make that introduction even stronger. Because I was actually glad you asked, what's the problem of plenty? Because I was thinking, well, I think I know what it is, but it was, just a little, you never know. It could be just a little different. So I was glad that you asked that. What could he do to make it even a little better? What ideas do you have?
You can be a little slow.
Yeah.
You could slow it down just a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, we could stay with you, but if you have somebody who struggles hearing through an accent, you have very good English. But because some people have a harder time with accents, that if your audience is at risk for that, I would slow it down just a little bit, because
Okay.
what I love is you've got this enthusiasm for it, and so it comes out in the vocal. You really sound enthusiastic, like you're really passionate about this subject, but you're a fast talker.
Okay.
So at times you might want to slow it down, and even think about slowing it. You can talk that fast during a story for the most part, but when you want to make a really important point, when you are quoting the poem,
Okay.
give us a second to let it sink in. That will make it even more powerful. You know, which I thought was great. Okay, I would just add to the things that were already said, and I'll give you this as well. Your volume was really good. I mean, I think you commanded the room in your gestures and in your vocal. And I think that the enthusiasm and the passion that you have for the subject really shows, which is very engaging to everybody. When we hear somebody talk about something they really care about, we're much more engaged. So I thought that was great. I think that I already gave you the tips on that introduction to make it a little bit crisper, a little clearer about what you're going to talk about. And then in the end, I kind of had to pull that close out of you. And so I think it would be, you summed it up well with the poem. I thought that was great. And then don't forget to say, what questions can I answer? Or,
Okay.
I'd be happy to take questions. And then just leave us with that punchline, if you remember nothing else. It could be repeating like you did, saying, make the most of every second of your minute. Live every second of your minute, something like that.
Okay.
And that just leaves us like, wow, yeah, I got to do that,
Okay.
More powerful. Very nice job. Good job.